Hi, this is Michelle from Raw and Real. Today I wanted to talk about addictions because this channel is about, eating healthy and raw food and overcoming addictions and coming from an addictive background either for yourself or being raised in one. I thought one of the best videos that I saw on explaining what is the underlying basis of addiction, I wanted to share that with you today. Now, keep something in mind. There is definitely a chemical basis of addiction, and some might even say genetic. However, even with that said, there is still this huge emotional component that needs to be addressed. So this video addresses it. Take a look.
All the substances of abuse, whether they're opiates or cocaine or anything else, they're actually painkillers. Some of them specifically are painkillers. But physical pain and emotional pain, the suffering is experienced in the same part of the brain. So when people suffer emotional rejection, the same part of the brain will light up as if you stuck them with a knife. The Eckhart Tolle says very nicely that addictions begin with pain and end with pain. So that all the addictions are attempts to soothe the pain. So when I work with addictions, the first question is always not why the addiction, but why the pain. And what you find is emotional loss or trauma. In the case of the severe addicts, as in the Downtown East Sider, they were every single one of them traumatized. There's no women walking the streets here who had not been sexually abused, not even by accident. But you know, whether it's a sex addiction or internet or relationship or shopping or work addiction, these are all attempts to get away from distress. Keith Richards, the Rolling Stone guitarist, said, who used to have a severe heroin habit, as you know, he said that all the contortions we go through just not to be ourselves for a few hours. Or why would somebody not want to be themselves? Because they're in too much distress and too much pain. So I don't care what they tell you about genetics or any of that choices or any of that nonsense. It's always about pain. Well, the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying, it's got a wonderful line in it. Whatever you do, don't try and escape from your pain, but be with it. Because the attempt to escape from pain is what creates more pain. And that's the reality with addiction. But the question is, how can people be with their pain? Well, only if they sense some compassion from somebody. So as another teacher says, only when compassion is present will people allow themselves to see the truth. So addicted people need a compassionate present which will permit them to experience their pain without having to run away from it. And all the attempts to run away, it's like another teacher says, the surest way to go to hell is to try to run away from hell. So you got to be with that pain. You just have to be with it, but you have to have some support. And we live in a society that one way or the other is always about instant relief, quick satisfaction, distraction. In other words, we live in a culture that is based on, both economically and psychologically, on not supporting people to be with themselves.
So when we are wanting to recover from addiction, or if we're trying to help a family member to recover from addiction, when we're coming from a space of judgment and shame and blame, which is natural because we're feeling abandoned, or maybe their actions have caused some wreckage in our life, that's not helpful. We need to come from a place of compassion, not to say that we can't set boundaries if in fact they still are being self-destructive to themselves or destructive to others, but we still need to come from a place of compassion for where this person's pain is coming from. And when we approach them to talk to them about their addictions, it will change how we approach them. We're going to approach them asking about their pain rather than coming from a place of judgment. I know for myself that I wish I had, I knew this back when my mother was alive. She had overdosed on anxiety medications after she had relapsed back into drinking after 26 years sobriety. And I knew there was some pain there, but I definitely had my anger. And looking back, I wish I would have known then what I know now, and perhaps maybe things would have been different, which is one of the reasons why I started this channel. So I do hope that this video was helpful for you. If it was, if you hit the like button and share it with people that you feel might benefit from seeing this, that'd be awesome. And I hope that you're enjoying this channel. If there's any topics that you would like to see me address, some of the topics that are going to be coming up, I'm going to be dealing with how to deal with rage and injustice, and about that critical inner parent and judgmentalism. And we're going to talk about the masks that we wear when we have addictions, and we're going to talk about how to self-soothe and self-love. So hopefully those topics will be topics that you will enjoy. And if there's a topic that I haven't mentioned yet, post it down below or send me an email at keepinitrawandreal@gmail.com. And the keepin is got the G dropped, so it's keeping it raw and real. So we'll talk to you soon. Have a wonderful week. Take care.